At my graduation dinner, everyone was laughing until Grandma smiled at me and said, "I'm glad the restraining order finally expired." The table went dead silent. My fork stopped halfway to my mouth. "What restraining order?" I asked. Grandma's smile faltered. "The one against your father? I've been wanting to see you graduate for 3 years." I looked at my dad, who had gone completely pale. "Dad, what is she talking about?" My mom jumped in quickly. "Mother, this isn't the time or place." "No," Grandma's voice cut through the air like ice. "I think it's the perfect time. Tell her, Robert. Tell her why I haven't been allowed within 500 feet of this family." My younger sister, Meg, looked up from her phone for the first time all evening. "Wait, Grandma had a restraining order? That's why she never came to my dance recitals?" Dad's hands were shaking now. "It's complicated." "It's not complicated at all," Grandma said, pulling out her phone. "I have the court documents right here, filed 3 years ago after I threatened to call Child Protective Services." My stomach dropped. "CPS? Why would you call CPS?" Mom started crying. "Please, Mother, not here. Because your father was hitting Meg," Grandma said quietly. "And when I tried to intervene, he had me legally banned from seeing my own grandchildren." The restaurant seemed to spin around me. Meg's face went white as a sheet. "That's not true," Dad said desperately. "She's lying." "Then explain the bruises I photographed," Grandma said, scrolling through her phone. "The ones you told the school were from soccer practice, except Meg quit soccer 6 months before those photos were taken." I remembered Meg coming to school with marks on her arms, how she'd started wearing long sleeves even in summer, how she'd become so quiet and jumpy around Dad. "The dancing," I whispered. "That's why you suddenly quit dancing, isn't it? Because of the accidents during practice?" Meg's tears started flowing. She nodded silently. "You sick bastard," I said, standing up so fast my chair crashed backward. "You've been hurting her this whole time, and you got a restraining order against the one person trying to protect her?" Dad tried to grab my arm. "You don't understand." "Don't touch me," I yanked away from him. "Don't you ever touch anyone in this family again?" That's when Meg spoke up, her voice barely a whisper. "Grandma, are you here to take me home?" Grandma stood up and opened her arms. "I've been waiting 3 years to ask you that question, sweetheart." As Meg ran into Grandma's embrace, I turned to my parents. "The restraining order expires today, doesn't it? That's the only reason she could be here." Mom nodded through her tears. "Good," I said, pulling out my phone, "because now I'm calling CPS myself, and this time, there won't be any legal papers to stop what's coming." Dad's face crumpled as I dialed. "Please, don't destroy our family." "You already did that," Grandma said, holding Meg tight. 3 years ago, when you chose violence over love." As I waited for CPS to answer, the whole restaurant was staring. Other diners had their phones out, probably recording the whole meltdown. "Please hang up," Mom begged. "We can work this out as a family." "Like you worked it out with Grandma?" I said. "By silencing her with legal threats?" The CPS operator answered. I spoke clearly, making sure everyone could hear. "I need to report ongoing child abuse. My father has been physically harming my 15-year-old sister, and my family used a restraining order to prevent my grandmother from protecting her." Dad tried to leave, but Grandma blocked his path. "Where do you think you're going, Robert? Your 3 years of hiding behind court papers just ended." Meg looked up at me with tears streaming down her face. "I thought nobody believed me. I thought nobody cared." "I believe you," I said, still on the phone with CPS. "And Grandma never stopped caring. She just got legally prevented from helping." The operator scheduled an emergency visit for that evening. As we gathered our things to leave with Grandma, Dad made one last desperate attempt. "This will destroy everything we've built." "Good," Meg said, her voice stronger now. "Some things deserve to be destroyed. Sometimes the people who claim to protect you are the ones everyone else needs protection from."